Hi, I'm Joss Whedon, creator of everything you've ever liked, including stuff my name isn't on. And I wrote a lot of great novels from the 19th century, too. You're watching FEARnet. Dollhouse's show about Eliza Dushku playing somebody whose personality has been removed, literally wiped out, so that she can be imprinted with other personalities, literally become other people, not necessarily living people, but amalgams of people. And she's hired out for, various encounters and jobs and adventures and crimes and good works and all kinds of things. And every week she's somebody different. And in between times, she lives in this place called the Dollhouse, with a bunch of other people in the same condition who are all sort of young and athletic and good looking and completely gone. They're very vague and very childlike, and they don't have their personalities until they're imprinted for an engagement. And the show revolves around those engagements and also around her sort of burgeoning self-awareness as she's in the dollhouse and starts to realize, I exist.
I'm not nobody.
Yeah, there are similarities in people who say, "Oh, but it's the same as Firefly. They have their worries," and I understand that because I did do a similar thing. I tried to give the network what they were looking for. In the case of Firefly, they just didn't want it. They just didn't want it. And in the case of Dollhouse, I sort of came at the premise sideways. I spent the episode setting things up. Their druthers was to have an episode that really had the structure of the show in it, to have an engagement, because every week there will be a different engagement, and that will resolve. There'll be a continuing mythos, but every week you'll be able to watch a show just on its own. And they wanted to sort of show that, and they liked what I did, but they were worried about that as an introduction to the universe. The difference was, this time it was me who said, well, why don't we push this and I'll write a prequel, because it's not everybody meeting like Firefly. It's where we come into it already in the middle of operations. So I had other ways of introducing all the characters. It was kind of a fun lesson, and sort of like, okay, let me recalibrate, and I can make this exactly what they need, because these guys can really tell me what they need. The people I'm working with now, they really understand the show and what they want and what they want to tweak, and so it's much more of a collaboration. And it's a much more of a positive energy just between me and the studio than we ever had with Firefly.
I love Joss Whedon. I've been a fan of him since probably his work on X-Men, but since then I started watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the television series, which is probably the best television series ever to be on television.
That season is heading to the bad place. Buffy season 8 is, it's about to hit the halfway mark, and that's really when things start going downhill for Buffy, as is usually the case in a season. The whole world's about to get very different for her, and that's exciting. We've had a lot of fun sort of building it up and exploring not just the universe, but like the structure of the comic and how does it work and what do we need. It was like, creating a new show in the same way. We were learning it as we go, and now that we've sort of got the ground under our feet, it's time to pull it out.